Hello and welcome to another Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is Bryan Steele and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. So hello everybody. Today's going to be kind of a interesting episode because it's going to have to cover it covers the week in Bryan, which is fine. It hasn't been it's been a good week. We'll cover that, and then we're going to talk about actually 2 weeks worth of stuff. We'll get into that here in a second. At first, the week in Bryan. Personal things are great. Things are going good. My son is about ready to get his driver's license, and all things are well in the world. Going back to the gym. I know there's going to be a couple of weeks where I'm doing a lot of time on my feet, so my gym time has been less lifting and more walking and leg-based cardio type stuff, because I know I am going to need to... I'm going to have a lot of walking over the next 2 days. A lot of walking and a lot of standing. And I just don't want that to kind of take it out of me. So I've been really kind of focusing on keeping them nice and limber, so to speak. But yeah, otherwise, then that's been great. Hobbying, I have not done much of any. I'm in ramp-up mode in other work stuff in order to get everything ready for me to be able to be away from the studio for the majority of 2 weeks. So I haven't done much hobbying. I know that when I'm done with these shows, I am probably going to dive in over there at the paint desk on a couple of different things. I still have my charity piece to get finished for Gamehole. And I have an unbelievable... I'm going to show you real quick. It's technically work-related, but... the wonderful guys over at Tooth and Coats sent me a care package. Basically one of everything that they make. Again, super awesome. Love those guys to death. Also, I really enjoy their paints, and we were talking, and we may try and collab on something in the future, possibly through Warzone. But for now, I'm going to give a lot of their line. I backed their Kickstarter, so I've got some of their stuff, but I got mostly basic colors. I didn't go real deep into some of the newer or kind of mixed shades or anything. So I'm really interested to crack that stuff open, find a place to put it all in my hobby section, and start getting to use them, because that was really cool of them to send that to us, and I am ecstatic that I get to tell them how great their stuff is, and tell you guys. Hopefully, maybe after once we get through all this, and I get a chance to actually use these paints, I'll let you know. I would love to get my camera rig fixed again and maybe actually film an episode from the hobby station again, but the last couple times I've tried, it just has not worked out. So we'll see. Maybe I can figure out a way to record it and then redo the outro intro over here or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But either way, very cool. Thank you so much to Tooth and Coats, and I look forward to using your stuff. But that's really the extent of hobbying. Gaming, I've been playing a lot more Diablo with my buddy, but also this last week was good for me for gaming. We for tabletop role playing, we wrapped up the current arc of our Rift's Wild West game, or Rift's New West game. Awesome time. We had a big battle with the bad guy, and I'm particularly fond on happy with how it ended, because it's one thing when the Star Marshal and the Dragon Juicer, or even like the crazy gunslinger, when we go into combat and we clean house, that's normal. That's what we're designed for. And it was really cool that we did all this damage. We're taking these guys out and doing cool stuff and throwing bombs and lasers and all the great stuff that a Rifts game should have. But then the big bad guy, curly mustache, was it long stash Curly? I can't remember his name. Long stash Curly. He was a telekinetic gunslinger, and he was doing a number on us, and we got it narrowed down, and then the two last big hits, the huge things, actually came from our non-combat characters. Our cyber doc using my juicer's gun, because I was like, we need to keep you far away where you can still have an impact. Using my anti-creature rifle, did a ton of damage and got the guy to basically flee. Like, oh, I gotta get out of here. He jumps into his cyber horse and he's riding away. And then while he's riding away, our technomancer, our technomage, who has some combat spells, but he seems to be way more utilitarian throughout the campaign. Casts his brand new lightning from on high. It hits automatically and it does just a little bit of damage, but enough that it's enough damage that it's a solid attack, but it costs him a lot of his little magic points. And so as Curly's fleeing the scene on his super fast cyber horse, our technomage calls down lightning, pops him on the top of the head, and takes him out. So I loved that while the combat characters got to shine in the combat and do a bunch of stuff and do all the things and blasted all the stuff, it was the non-combat characters that kind of won it for us in the clinch. And I dig that. It was a fun ending. It was a good ending. We are looking at replacing that slot in our gaming schedule with another game for a little while, kind of take a break from Rifts, move away from that to play something else for a little bit. But yeah, it's just super, super excited. And it was a great thing. We knew that the end was coming, and it got there and it went out with a bang. And Bryan did a great job. Not Bryan. I'm not talking to the third person. Our DM's name is Bryan. One of my best friends from a million years ago. Then, literally just last night, I went and had dinner with my one of my besties, the gentleman who is actually going to be house sitting for us while Natalie and I are out at GaryCon next week. We went and had dinner and kind of just got everything up to speed, let him know how things are going to go, timing, all that rigmarole. But then on top of that, we managed to get a game of Magic in. I brought a couple of my commander decks down with me, and I was like, hey, maybe we'll get a game in. And we did. And I went up against he had a very scary Legolas deck. Designed, it had a lot of tricks in it, and I could absolutely see where, if it was allowed to do what it does, that the game would have been over very quickly. But I was using my brand new Shark Pirate deck that I put together, and I got a couple of really good, when I say foil, I don't mean like holographic. I mean foil as in oops, I foiled your plan. I had a couple of really good foils against his deck, and I got him all the way down to 5 life out of his 40 before I ran into a situation where if I don't draw a card that can do X thing, he's got me. And I didn't draw that card, and then so he beat me. And but it felt good that my utterly untested Shark Pirates did really, really well against a well-oiled, highly tuned killing machine Legolas deck. So good on that. So that's gaming. Work stuff. So lots, always. I am working on ticking boxes and finishing up a couple of things. I have a handful of days before I head out to GaryCon, but which means I have a few things that I need to finish before that happens. Part of the reason why this episode is going to be relatively, I don't want to say short, but very concise, and less of me rambling like I am right now. is because I need to be able to get back to it. I only have so many hours of every day to get things taken care of before I leave for GaryCon. But no, things are looking great. Warzone fulfillment continues. Alex says that he should be done with the U.S. backers, the consumer backers, probably by the end of this week. So that should be awesome. I mean, it's so cool getting to see people getting their packages and people already painting their models, and this is all the stuff that we've been waiting for since we started this project. And I, above all other things, I am so glad and so happy to hear actual pride and mirth and joy in Alex's voice when he's talking about this project, because it has been a lot of stress. It's been a lot of, it's almost 4 years at this point. Actually, I think it might be over 4 years at this point of us working on this. And it's been ups and downs. And a lot of that stuff has landed on Alex's shoulders in a way that it can drain on you. It can drag. And I'm glad to hear him happy about the project. I'm glad to hear him excited about new things that we're talking about. And, we'll talk about this faction or this unit, and oh man, and something will come up where maybe it's something obscure from the role-playing game that that I'm not even aware of. And he was like, yeah, we need to put this in the game. And then we brainstorm on how, like, it's very cool to know that that the foundation of Warzone Eternal is done. It is ready. It is out in the world for a lot of people now. And soon we'll be able to start, instead of putting all of our creative efforts toward getting the Kickstarter fulfilled and getting this stuff out the door, we'll actually start to be able to turn our focus back on the creation of new stuff and more stuff and keeping that momentum going. It's awesome. Super cool. Xenogenesis, same thing. I know that the crowdfunding campaign for that is going to be very shortly, right around the corner, I believe. Danny was the only one that would know the exact date, so I'm not going to quote it. But I got to see at Gamma, I got to see some of the actual models instead of all the proxies that I've been using, and it's cool. I love to see this stuff in the plastic, in the flesh, and I can't wait to get some of that stuff on the table. When there's something about the first time that you get a game in and it's not with proxies, there's a certain rush to it. I don't know what it is, but it becomes less of a project and more of a, this is happening. I mean, it's always gonna happen, but you know what I mean. There's something about it makes it more real. The crowdfund for how to write even better adventures from Goodman Games. I have an essay in that book. I believe the crowdfund for that comes soon, like next couple of weeks. More on that as time progresses. Let's see what else. Still working hard on making all the cool Wildkin for the Dungeon in a Box guys, their Monster Trainer book. Evil Genius. I just finished we're collating and getting the Everyday Apocalypse stuff put together for this month's release. And I just put the finishing touches on, or sent it over to one of our rules guys to do some dev cleanup on the Everyday 20s, the Roaring 20s for Everyday Heroes. And we had a really good conversation yesterday about some of the stuff that we want to do with the Game Master's Guide for Intergalactic Heroes. So, I mean, like, again, everything seems to be going pretty well. Knock on wood. We're going in the right direction. It feels good, getting headway and trying to line things up. I think this year is going to be a solid year worth of awesome releases and things, kind of across the board. Very excited. All right, so I think that is the week in Bryan. Nothing else is jumping out at me that I can, like, I'm trying to think. I don't don't think so. I think that's it. I think that's it. So now let's talk conventions, the topic of the day. So I have, and the reason why this is a big deal, I'm gonna try to get an episode, even if it's a fast episode, recorded in between GaryCon and Adepticon. Even if it's just kind of a checkup of, hey, I'm still alive, GaryCon was awesome, and these are the reasons why. But it might not happen. So it is very possible that this episode that you're watching right now might be the only episode I get a chance to upload until after Adepticon. So 2 weeks with nothing. If the Wi-Fi is okay, I might try and maybe go live from a show or from the hotel room, but I can't guarantee anything, and I don't want to promise anything. But all of that being said, my next 2 weeks are crazy. So Natalie and I go to GaryCon. I'm a special guest there. I'm a special industry guest there. I'm going to run some events, and but I also get to play in some events. And it's the only convention that Natalie goes to play games. So I actually get a chance to play with her in a couple of instances as well. And the reason why, I know a lot of people are like, she's your wife. You guys live together and play games all the time. That is kind of a misnomer. We do play when we can, but it's almost always one of us is the game master, meaning that we don't get to play together. Yeah, we're playing together, but we don't get to be players together. And at GaryCon, at least in one event, I think we have two events together, where we get to play together, and that's awesome. Because I don't have the stress of being a game master. You know what? We don't have, either of us have the stress of trying to run the game and also interact with our significant other. So this is cool. In this case, we just get to play, and I'm excited. My schedule at GaryCon is insane. Part of being a guest and also wanting to do things. I've got a couple of meetings set up with people that I need to talk to. I actually just not so much signed on to a project. I was already kind of part of the project, but my role over there has changed a little bit with one of the guys over at Gygax Inc. So I've got a meeting with Matt to discuss what sounds like a really cool game world that he is putting together, and I'm gonna help him flesh it out. But other than a couple of meetings, my GaryCon is jam-packed. Basically, we drive up on Wednesday, get checked in, get our badges, say hi, probably have a drink, see everybody, and then go back to the hotel and relax, because our Thursday is insane. I only have like three things on Thursday. Natalie has like 6. Thursday is Natalie's big day. I have, let's see, I start my day off running. Yeah, I start my day off. I'm looking at the calendar if you're wondering why I'm not paying attention to the camera. I start my day off at like noon, running my first Intergalactic Heroes game, my Heck Divers game. And then I go pretty much from that almost immediately over to... wait, is that right? Yeah, okay. I thought I screwed this up. I head over pretty much immediately to play a game of RuneQuest, which I haven't played RuneQuest in so long. I'm sad that I don't get to play my character, good old Sturm Ironville, my duck warrior. There'll be pre-gens in place, but I'm 99% sure that I actually get to play with my buddy Jeff, one of the heads over at Chaosium. I think I saw that he was the one that was running it, so we'll see. I think it would be great if that's the case. If not, I'm still going to just love the fact that I'll be playing RuneQuest, because I haven't played in so long. And then from there, I'll grab some dinner, and then just a couple of hours later is the Catacombs and Comedians presents our stage show of traveler character, like classic traveler character creation. It's myself, Sarah Babe, Rob Weiland, John Kovalik, and Matt Forbeck. We're all up on stage competing for who has the best character creation story, and see if any of us survive, because it's old school Traveler, and sometimes that does in fact happen where you get gacked. I made a joke that I'm going to try and make a Cowardly Lion Aslan character, if at all possible, and that there's enough of us up there on the panel that we should try and all do a Wizard of Oz theme, but we'll see. Whatever the case may be, it's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a ton of laughs, and it is hopefully going to be one of those moments that sticks with me for a very long time. Come Friday, I've only got 2 events. I'm running 2 things. I'm running my next Heck Divers game, my next Intergalactic Heroes game. And then that night I run the adventure that I helped write, The Burning Man for the Gygax Society. So that'll be fun. And in fact, I know a couple of people that signed up for that adventure. And I'm 100% positive it is going to be a table full of madness in all the best ways. And then on Saturday, I only have really one thing. Saturday's my day where I'm probably do a lot of meetings, and that's going to probably be my day where I do, while Natalie's off playing stuff, where I do a lot of work stuff. But my game on Saturday is my Intergalactic Heroes kind of original adventure that is set in the Throne World saga. So it's actually set in the world that we created for Intergalactic Heroes. I run that, and then on Sunday I start the day bright and early playing I believe it's just a 5e game, or it might be a Shadow Dart game. And I think that's one that I get to play with Natalie. And then on later that afternoon, I get to finish my day playing some RPEX, which is kind of like True Dungeon, but a little more actual D&D than, kitschy, slidey stuff. It's like you actually have dice and things. That Natalie and I are gonna get to finish out our show by playing RPEX. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to pack all the car up and everything and go up to, because the RPEX always takes place up at the chalet, which is about a mile away from the rest of the thing, is that we'll drive up there, and then when it's over, we'll just hop in the car and head out, because we got to come back here to relieve our house sitter. But that's my son. That's my Gary Con. I mean, it's like I said, it'll be a lot. It'll be a pretty big blur. It's going to move quick. It's going to be very busy. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But then we drive home. I say hi to my puppies. I unpack. I wash my clothes. I get the car repacked over the next 2 days. I check all my emails, do all my office stuff that I have to do, and then turn right around and head back up to Milwaukee for Adepticon on the following week. And Adepticon, I really only have one. I mean, I've got a cool dinner arrangement, but other than like dinner and like socializing stuff, I really only have one event that I'm doing. And that event is the Warzone Eternals tournament on Saturday night, which is the kind of the really the mark of, hey, Warzone's here, it's out, check it out. It is a 28-person tournament that is completely sold out. And I'm super looking forward to getting a chance to not only work the booth and talk to people and sell product, now that fulfillment has begun and we're working on getting everything set up for our international people. Trenchworks is going to be able to start selling our stuff at the booth, and it's really, it's awesome. It is going to be a fantastic show. It's going to be busy. It's going to be stressful. And I cannot wait to be able to come back here and tell you guys about all of it. because I have a feeling that this show is going to do a lot for Warzone. I think that it is going to, I don't want to be like, it's going to put it on the map. I think that there's going to be a lot of people that maybe had not heard about it before, or had heard about it, but kind of put it off in the, oh, it's just one of those Kickstarter things. Now, once it's out there and people get to feel it and see it and buy it and have it, and they'll get to see this tournament and people enjoying themselves and cheering, and I will surely make a spectacle of myself at some point during the tournament, shouting and attracting attention in all the best ways. But yeah, to know that here in just a little over 2 weeks, we're gonna have the first two names that go on the Eternals trophy. There's gonna be people. There's gonna be a winner who says, who helps determine one of the next units to come out for the game. It's awesome, and I'm super excited. I'm super psyched. It goes hand in hand with the fact that fulfillment is taking place and people are getting their stuff, and people are posting up pictures, and this is really going to be the benchmark of, not Warzone Eternal is now here and it's real and people are buying it and playing it, and we're going to start the next chapter in its life. So Adepticon, baby, that's gonna be awesome. Not to mention, I'm excited for the new place, for the Milwaukee place. I know there's a lot of people that have been giving it grief because of some of the rules of what you can and can't bring in, can't bring outside booze in, which again, I don't know if that's a bad thing. Yeah, it's nice to be able to have a drink. It's nice to be able to relax and enjoy yourself. This is a lot of times this is these people's vacations, but I've also seen quite a few sloppy drunks out there at Adepticon. People who are embarrassingly bad. I had a friend of mine have to get carted away to his hotel room because he couldn't keep going. That's not a good look. And as this show gets even bigger and better and gets even more exposure as like the pinnacle miniature game show in America, the last thing that they need is to have this constant like echo in the back of, oh, hey, also, and by the way, remember that guy who, got carted off because of food poisoning or alcohol poisoning during the team tournament? So yeah, I think that I'm sure it'll be interesting, and I'm sure people will be adults about it, but I'm really excited for the new layout of the place, the new facility itself. Not that the last place was bad, not that Schaumburg was bad, but change sometimes is good, and in this case, if it allows us to have more room to bring in more folks or have just a more comfortable experience for everybody, I think that that's all around the best thing for all of us to deal with. So I'm super excited for it. But yeah, basically I go from GaryCon to home briefly to immediately to Adepticon, and then back to here to get back to work, because it will be the beginning of April, meaning new deadlines, new projects. Yeah. There's a lot. I've got some catch up to do. I've got to get back to it, which is why today's episode is mostly just very direct, very informative, and then hopefully the conversation will continue in the comments, because I think that's always fun, and it gets you into the comment raffle. And with all this cool new stuff that I've been getting from friends of the show and sponsors, and who knows what'll end up in your comment raffle package if you are the winner. But without further ado, please, especially if I don't get a chance to talk to you or talk at you for roughly 2 weeks, almost 3, please, please, please be safe. Wash your hands. Get your shots. Stay out of trouble. Don't lick doorknobs. Wear a mask in places where you think you have to. Have a little compassion when you're dealing with other humans, because a lot of us are dealing with a lot of stuff right now. Just try and leave every room just a little happier than when you got there, and I think that we'll be okay. So until next time, which may be a couple of weeks away, and I apologize for that, just be safe, have fun, and play some games, because especially over the next 2 weeks, you damn well know I'm going to. Bye, guys.